The gun control narrative is ridiculous in the sense that this person legally obtained the guns. I'm unaware what law would be passed that would have prevented this person from obtaining the guns. I'm perfectly fine with banning people who suffer from gender dysphoria from purchasing weapons. That seems to me a pretty significant symptom of an underlying mental malaise that could theoretically be a problem in terms of owning firearms. But I don't think the left believes the same thing.
After weeks of Republicans hinting that they support gun control only in the case of trans people owning guns, Ben Shapiro has finally come out and said the quiet part out loud. So let's take a closer look at exactly what he said. He said, "I'm perfectly fine with banning people who suffer from gender dysphoria from purchasing weapons. That seems to me a pretty significant symptom of an underlying mental malaise that could theoretically be a problem in terms of owning firearms. But unfortunately for Ben, facts don't care about his feelings. And we actually do have demographic data on what groups commit the most school shootings and mass shootings. And believe it or not, it isn't trans people. Insider reported that it is highly unusual for a school shooter to not be a cisgender man. According to a database maintained by the Violence Project, 98% of mass public shootings carried out in the US since 1966 were committed by cis men. Now, in regards to the Tennessee school shooting, Ben was really quick to decide that the shooting was an anti-Christian hate crime motivated by the shooter's transgender identity, with no evidence, by the way, because the police have not put out a motive that they've discovered, nor have they made public the manifesto. But this is how Ben Shapiro responded when a mass shooter was on his side of the political aisle. So he tweeted this after the Club Q shooting and said, "The left has no problem blaming tragedies like the one in Colorado Springs on their political opponents. According to them, anyone who doesn't support their radical social agenda is complicit. And yet they wonder why society is more polarized than ever." Yeah, surely Ben Shapiro has played no role in polarizing society. But now, Ben Shapiro has no problem blaming tragedies like the one in Tennessee on the existence of trans people who he sees as his political opponents. And now, the people who after every mass shooting said, "Don't politicize a tragedy," are doing exactly that. The people who said time and time again, "Now is not the time to call for gun control," are calling for gun control, but they're not really calling for gun control. It's something much darker than that. So I found this old quote from Ben Shapiro that I think perfectly exemplifies how hypocritical this little bozo is. So Ben Shapiro said, "When the left says things like a little bit of common sense gun control would stop all of this, that's just a chimera. It's not true. They're making things up because it is all about the moral disapproval of people who own guns." When Ben Shapiro says things like banning people with gender dysphoria from owning guns would stop all this, it's just a chimera. It's not true. He's making things up because it's all about his moral disapproval of trans people. 6 people, 3 of them children, were murdered in that school. But Ben doesn't want to talk about gun reforms that would actually be effective in preventing school shootings. He just wants to promote his hateful anti-trans agenda by shoehorning in the revocation of constitutional rights for a specific group of people. It is disgusting. And it needs to be called out because it isn't what it seems on the surface. There's something so much darker going on here, and it horrifies me. Because what I believe there's an attempted genocide of trans people in this country, and this is exactly that. So, yeah, Cenk.
So, I think that mental malaise might be actually the perfect description of the right-wing mind. I don't understand how it even affects what he's talking about. I don't know if he understands what those words mean. So even if he was accusing trans people of some sort of condition, it wouldn't be mental malaise. Malaise is general weakness, apathy, laziness. That's the kind of condition you would have if you think that trans people are the only ones doing mass shootings in America. Like all week, the right wingers are talking about, oh, the real problem in mass shootings is trans people. Are you guys serious? No, you're not serious, right? I mean, that's mental malaise. You know, no one could possibly believe that, let alone the stat we just showed you where it's 98% straight males that do the shootings. We all have eyes and ears. We've been here for decades after mass shooting after mass shooting after mass shooting. Now all of a sudden, in the last couple of months, you guys think, it was always trans people. Oh, come on, you don't believe that, right? You don't believe, nobody could be that stupid. So like, I don't want to call you stupid, so I'm asking you, are you stupid? Because you can't possibly believe that. Now all of a sudden, and then all these years of saying, guns, man, you can't take away our guns. Over our cold dead hands, we'll murder you if you come for our guns. Oh, let's take away trans people guns right away. What happened? I thought it was a constitutional right. We all have constitutional rights. Second Amendment rights, you guys talk about murdering people for your Second Amendment rights all the time as a matter of course. That's part of your normal political discourse in this country, right? Now you immediately say, grab their guns, take them away. Why? Oh, they're trans, we don't like them. Look, guys, I know if you're a right winger, you don't care about hypocrisy, you don't care about logic, you don't care about any of these things. You find them annoying. You're like, look, I want to have guns and point them at you and scare the living crap out of you. And every once in a while, like Kyle Rittenhouse or Zimmerman, etc., we get to kill you guys. And then we go, oh, so I stood my ground, it was self-defense, whatever. Oh, you guys do a killing? You guys. People we don't like, we don't even know her opinions. Look, I can't even keep up with all the different things that shooter was called. So anyways, but trans people, all of you, not that shooter, not that person's ideology, but all of you, we should ban you and take your guns away. I mean, tell me you don't believe in the Second Amendment without telling me you don't believe in the Second Amendment. Tell me you don't believe in democracy or logic without telling me that. You just want power. So right wingers, either tell me, yeah, I'm stupid, I can't understand simple concepts, right? I can't understand numbers like 98%. I don't have eyes or ears. I didn't notice all the straight males doing one massacre after another, after another, after another, after another. That's impossible not to notice. Tell me you're that stupid. Or tell me, yeah, I've been lying the whole time. I don't care about any of these stupid things like America and our Constitution and the stupid Second Amendment and the stupid logic and the stupid facts. I don't care. I just want power over you. I just want power over you. I want to own you, own the libs. And I want to get rid of trans people and gay people. Why? Because I'm probably in one of those categories and I hate myself. Stop bothering the rest of us. Leave us alone. Go deal with your own problems with your therapist. And then Shapiro, I watched a longer clip. He knows he's doing a sleight of hand and he does it on purpose. So here's the illusion that he set up. He's like, oh, now they're blaming Republican politicians for this. Can you believe that? They're saying that it's their fault that this trans person did the shooting. Wait a minute, nobody said that. No, people blame the Republican politicians because they're not doing anything about gun control. They didn't say anything about how they were okay with the trans shooter, or they made the trans shooter do it, or whatever, or the shooter who happens to be trans. We never call them straight male shooters. Do we call them that every time? But now all of a sudden, this person's a trans shooter, right? It just drives me crazy, the hypocrisy and the lack of logic. So I told you, Tucker Carlson did that segment, and I told you guys they're gonna come for their guns. They never believed in the Second Amendment. And now lie after lie after lie. The only honest part of what he said was, yeah, let's take their guns away. As soon as it's someone that isn't in your camp, you want to take the guns away, right? We knew it. We knew it. Thank you for your confession.
To me, the pretty fundamental, significant symptom of mental malaise is that beard that he's got. That is what malaise is. You're so weak, you can't shave. And I hate to break it to you, dude, but that looks like you took your dad's shoe polish and we're like, I can go beard now. I can go beard. I'm a big boy now. And that's what's so crazy. That is the big flex that he's doing, is that he can say stuff this crazy and look that crazy. And at this point, I think that the right wing is just flexing on how stupid they think their supporters are. They don't have to make good points. They don't have to look dope. I'm sure that Ben Shapiro is like, I gotta have a beard like Matt Walsh, and he just can't pull it off. Now, for all the right wingers telling us that in the wake of a mass shooting, we want to take your guns away, the left wants to take your guns away. The first person that I've actually heard say that in earnest about an entire group of people is Ben Shapiro. And it's all projection. It reveals that it's always projection. Whenever they say it's us that's going to do something, they're gonna do it. And I didn't think that Ben Shapiro was one of these all-out Civil War tactics to inspire a Civil War person. I thought he was just a businessman trying to use polemic discourse to kind of corner the market and make a media play so he could write stupid movies and get morons to go see them. Because that's what he's doing in Nashville or wherever the hell he's at. That's what, or Florida, wherever Ben Shapiro is, he's trying to make movies because he's a failed screenwriter. But now I have evidence that he's trying to disarm the other side of the Civil War that he so desperately wants. Ben Shapiro, I'm ashamed to call you my fellow American, and I think you should rethink this entire gun discourse, unless, of course, you decide you want to shoot guns. And I would pay money to watch Ben Shapiro shoot a gun, because it would be the most hilarious experience of my life. I already saw him do this. Yeah. And he looked like a total fool. I want him to go out onto the gun range and shoot guns. And the fact is, I understand the premise. I actually fundamentally agree with a lot of the premise he's laying out there. If people, and that's really the only ask we have, it's so very close. My ask is that we find out if someone has severe psychological problems. Find out if someone is at a position where they've conducted actions that that seem like they're an imminent threat were they to acquire a gun. I'm for that. He's making the insane conclusion that being trans makes you a threat to other people. I shouldn't be surprised, because he sat toe to toe with Dave Rubin and was like, I don't think you should get married. I'm not coming to your birthday party if you gays are gonna gay there. He's a religious fundamentalist. And he has his fundies in a bunch over this, and he's coming for everyone else, and it sucks. And everybody needs to call him out for it. My only circumstance is we should identify people, like they're fighting against folks who have made direct threats against people they live with and said stuff like, they've had domestic violence in the house, and we just want to say, because people who start out by hitting their partner end up killing their partner at a higher rate, that's direct causality. There's more causality to say you should ban like cis white dudes from getting guns, and I'm not even asking for that. And lazy journalists do this thing called 1-2 trend. That's why you read a bunch of articles where it's like 3 examples, and that thing is like the new thing now. With Ben Shapiro, it's 1 trend, because he doesn't care about reality or truth. He only cares about winning the rhetorical debate and putting money into his pocket.
All right, last thing on this. Speaking of projection, I've been trending all week among right wingers, because after Tucker Carlson said that, basically intimated that we should stop trans people from getting guns, that they should not have Second Amendment rights. I said, look, you have every right to a gun as everyone else. You're a US citizen, you have Second Amendment rights. I hear the right wing talking about it all the time, so there's no reason why trans people shouldn't get guns either if everybody else is. And they are literally, they're spread that clip everywhere online, and they're intensely outraged. They're like, can you believe Cenk Uygur said that trans people should have guns? You guys say 24/7 that everyone should have guns, and we would all be safer if we all had guns, and that every American has a Second Amendment right, a God-given right to guns. And I say, okay, fine, okay, I'll agree. Then trans people should have guns as much as anyone else. They're like, outrage! Can you believe he said that they should be able to have guns? Do you guys understand the English language? Do you understand words? So just answer. I am not calling you stupid. I don't think you are. I think you just lie to yourself 24/7, and you can't see straight. People in bubbles can't see straight. Well, that's why I'm asking you. You really can't understand the English language, or are you just lying to yourself and you say, look, I don't want them to have guns because I don't like them. I hate them. And I don't think they should have the same rights as me. I don't think they should be equal to me. I don't believe in justice for them. I don't really believe in anything that the Constitution says or that America stands for, because those people I don't like. I don't like them, so I don't think they should be equal to me. I should have guns, I should have rights, and they shouldn't have anything. Just admit it. You don't like this country. You don't like the idea of America. Then we're all good. At least you're finally honest with yourself.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.